Oh, yes, we looking extra homeless today. Hell yeah. Alright, Kagurabachi 120. I have so much to say, bruv. Like, I had one criticism of this series, yeah, and it was that the fights aren't fighty enough, alright? We're not focusing on the fights enough. This is chapter 4 of the Irishima Talk conflict, and it's pure hands, bro. Why is it called Let me try that again. Why is it called Irishima Talks, bro? It's just hands. There's no talking. This guy just blows past my expectations, and he also, like, defies my expectations every single time, alright? Subverted completely. Because I thought Yoshinojo was gonna be a bum who exists purely to die. I thought he was the weak guy of the group, alright? I thought Mashiro was, like, kind of a prodigy. Shiba's him. Hiruto is, like, the strongest Soga clan guy with the Kurasuchi sorcery who gets some crazy glaze in this chapter. But then Yoshinojo just comes in and uses his 5 trillion Todo level IQ to, like, almost beat this guy? I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, let's get into the chapter because I have a lot to say. So we start off where we left off, obviously, with the Aryu guy using his weird Datanseki Sumika ability that we still don't really know what it does against Hiruto and Shiba. Shiba immediately, like, craps his pants, poo everywhere. He doesn't know what's going on. We then get Hiruto glaze. Like, JJK level, like, glaze. It says Hiruto Soga, his body was the greatest achieved by mankind. Well, his body for using Kurasuchi was the greatest achieved by mankind. That's a mad sentence, bruv. What? That's insane glaze. Oh, not just that. We then get amazing double spread, incredible double spread, saying that the highest speed humanly possible is attained by Hiruto Soga when using his directional gravity ability to pull himself towards his opponent, similar to how Gojo uses blue for high speed movement. I assume this is talking about, you know, literal travel speed, so I guess we're taking teleportation out of the equation. In terms of actually moving from point A to B, Hiruto Soga is the fastest as of right now, and guess what? In the very same beautiful double spread, when the narrator says that about Hiruto Soga, he gets absolutely blitzed by Aryu, who grabs him by the face, slams him into the ground, and delivers a JoJo's level barrage of punches into his stomach. And throughout the whole chapter, Aryu does nothing but just hit everybody. He just punches them. That's it. Sure, he doesn't do them like Mashiro, where he sticks his hand through their chest, but he still just beats them up. He's not really doing anything else. We then have Shiba teleport behind him and then crap himself because he realizes he can't actually teleport Aryu because he's invulnerable to sorcery.
What?
So first Okazono creates Akamura Soga with the Magatsumi, who has infinite broken abilities. He then counteracts this by creating a broken Shikoku Mikoboshi by saying, we're going to make them immune to all abilities. Brother, where's this guy smoking, bro? I don't know. Anyway, Shiba then gets, dare I say, blitzed, but not really, because I'm still going to find a way to turn this into Shiba glaze. You see, the reason Shiba got caught here is because he wasn't expecting Aryu to, you know, not be affected by sorcery, so he's already off guard from not teleporting. And then he goes out of his way to grab Hiruto and get out of there. And then by the time Aryu's got to him, there's nothing more he can do, because Hiruto's right there, and Shiba's real sorcery is just so broken and destructive that he can't use it right now without killing Hiruto. So, in conclusion, the reason Shiba got punched up this chapter by Aryu is just because he's too strong. That's why he lost. Alright, trust me, guys. Trust. Does it say it in the chapter? No. But trust me, I can read. Shiba only lost because he's too strong. Trust me. Anyway, Hiruto and Shiba just get thrown through the forest and they've just been slept, right? Hiruto ends up back on the beach with Mashiro, Shiba's been crashed into a tree, and then we cut to the guy who I was slandering thinking he wasn't doing anything or had any reason to be here. We cut to Yoshinojo just observing, and turns out this guy is really smart. He looks at everything going on and figures out that earlier on, Aryu released some kind of toxin that was unknowingly clouding their senses, which is why he was able to blitz or sneak up on everybody without them sensing it or seeing it coming. It's because their senses have been unknowingly changed. At which point then, the guy who blitzed the fastest guy in the verse right now then gets his head nearly cut off by Yoshinojo, who read his move and reacted to him. I did not know Yoshinojo was built like that. And again, it's in another amazingly beautiful double spread where Aryu is actually able to block it with his gauntlet, but still really surprised that this guy was able to figure out exactly how his ability works just from pure intuition, you know? And then what Yoshinojo did in a very genjutsu breaking Naruto style is bite his own tongue to snap himself out of the kind of weird murky senses and react to Aryu. So it's not that Aryu is really fast, it's that everyone else has been dulled down a lot. Anyway, Yoshinojo's like smiling, bleeding out the mouth. He looks so cool, saying, "Show us all you got. This is the climax," which when someone says that, it normally means this is the climax. So I wouldn't expect this conflict to go on for too much longer. But surprisingly, everyone's still alive by the end of this chapter. And I thought these guys would be evaporated by now, so good on them. Yeah, Hiruto and Mashiro then just have a little conversation about how sorcery isn't going to work on Aryu, and how we just need to use physical force to obliterate him. At which point, Mashiro, who I had countered out of the fight because I'm a fraud, then does the craziest thing I've seen in this series so far. Okay, that's not true, but like, he does something wild, bro. This guy is like, "Hey, I'm honored to have been chosen to be on a squad with, you know, sorcerers as esteemed as you guys. So I gotta make sure I do my bit before I go home." And despite being this injured, he then takes his sorcery, surrounds the entire blown up ship with his sorcery, crushes it into a giant compact steel ball, and says, he literally says this, I swear to God, I'm reading this verbatim from the manga, "Let's slug him with a real big chunk of iron." Mashiro! Mashiro! I didn't know you were built like that. I'm sorry for saying you got hit by a bazooka. You're the GOAT. Yeah, Hiruto, who is probably the strongest guy there, and maybe the strongest guy in the verse right now, like, for normal sorcery anyway, is looking at Mashiro going like, what the fuck is this guy doing, bro? He's insane. And then, because it runs in the blood, apparently, Yoshinojo uses his Chapter 1 Chihiro 360-degree slash technique in a really cool panel before getting his insides caved in by Aryu. But it's okay, because that's all part of the plan. His arm gets stuck inside Yoshinojo. It doesn't become very clear because apparently there's a big mistranslation where Aryu just says, "Uh-oh," and then there's a panel that says, "Apply gravity to him." That's not what gets said here. The real translation is actually Aryu saying, "No matter how hard I try, I can't get my arm out of Yoshinojo's chest." So Yoshinojo baited him in, took the attack, and is now holding him in place with so much force that they've created a crater in the ground below them. He's holding them in place so that Mashiro can summon this giant fucking ball of iron that Hiruto is now using his gravity to slam into the both of them. But then the goat Shiba comes in, grabs Yoshinojo, gets him out of there in time, and the final double spread of the chapter is literally just a massive fuck-off explosion detonating right on Aryu's head on the island. Obviously, we see Aryu, you know, doing his centipede thing again, and I'm sure he's going to find some bullshit way to survive and then kill everybody. It does just feel like a repeat of the Sojo anti-Cloud Gouger situation, where the good guys get the upper hand, and then right as they think they've won, the bad guy locks in and slaughters everyone. Yeah, that's probably coming next chapter, in 2 weeks' time, because it's a break week. But that's not the point. Let's not focus on the negatives. I want to focus on what's going on right now, which is this chapter, and last chapter pretty much, although getting little hints about, like, you know, some lore stuff and some details on how people's sorcery works and learning about some new sogas, which is all very cool. The main content of the chapter has just been fighting. My only criticism, as I explained a couple weeks ago and a few times before, of Kagurabachi is that sometimes when we do these kind of smaller fights that don't necessarily involve Chihiro, we kind of skip some steps and don't really give them as much love as they should be getting, but Hokuzono, you're doing it justice, man. We get to Irishima, 4 chapters of hands and lore and new sorcery, with some potential foreshadowing for later stuff, and still a lot of mystery. You've ticked every box, like, and I'm also very certain, like I said last time, those guardians of the Daten Seki, of the Mikaboshi are going to be, because there's 6 of them, an opponent for each enchanted blade wielder, and I believe Aryu is probably going to be taken out by Akamura, definitely not by Mashiro. I don't think he's dead here, obviously. Still, that doesn't even really matter right now. Like, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing the fights in the Seitei War, but the fact that we have this initial confrontation being as cool of a fight as it is, because this chapter is literally just hands, in a very inventive way as well. Like, I love it. It's great. Sure, there's not really much talking going on. There is a bit, but nothing, you know, game-changing. There's no insane lore being dropped. Some crazy Hiruto glaze. But yeah, expectations subverted. Everyone is still alive. Yoshinojo was actually, in fact, him. He did have his moment to shine. Mashiro is the fucking GOAT, and Shiba is just too strong, and that's why he loses. That's what we've concluded from this chapter. Yep. But yeah, honestly, he's taken my criticism of Kagurabachi and gone, nah, mate, just let me cook. So yeah, it's great. I don't know what to say beyond that. It's awesome. Obviously, I think Aryu is alive. I'm interested in seeing what Sumeki is. Is it that he has to activate the invulnerability to sorcery? I feel like there should be a condition on something like that, right? And also to his kind of toxic gas or whatever he spews out of his asshole. I don't know. And I assume he also has more moves than that. It does also seem like for some reason he's not trying to kill these guys. I believe if Aryu wanted to kill them, he probably could have done, but no, he's just punching them. I don't know, it's definitely a lot going on, and I'm curious to see how it wraps up, but I reckon someone's gonna die. At least one person will die on this island before it's done. Amazing double spreads. The art is phenomenal. Some of those shots in the forest are just beautiful, and the use of the narrator is also just peak. So yeah, it's awesome. I don't know what to say, man. I can't wait to see where we go from here, but hands. Your hands, dude. That's what I've been waiting for. Okay, it's nice getting details about sorcery, it's nice getting the lore, but hands! It's so inventive as well, having Yoshinojo figure it out, and then having Mashiro use the ship to create a giant steel ball as a physical attack instead of using sorcery. Seeing Shiba not be able to teleport someone, I don't know, it's so dynamic, you know what I mean? It feels like it kind of stands apart from your average, oh, we're gonna do a flashback and these characters throw down in a normal hand-to-hand fight. It all feels like it flows really nicely, like a storyboard almost. And speaking of storyboards, tomorrow is the big day. We're getting the Kagurabachi anime announcement, as well as, potentially, a key visual and/or teaser trailer. So, stay tuned for videos about that, but we're finally here. We've finally done it. And now I've got to go cry myself to sleep because it's break week. Peace.